y'all, it's Brandon with Voodoo Forge, and I've got a treat for y'all. A couple of days ago, I went and hung out with my buddy John Taylor up at his shop in Fentress County, and you're just not gonna believe it.
Standards in. The legs will move. It's a puzzle. You've got, the way I was told, joinery and.
Well, I've known John for about 10 years, and I've been threatening to go up there and do a video at his place for about the last year, and I wish I'd done it sooner. We had an absolute blast. It's going to turn into more like 3 or 4 videos. I'm still trying to sort out the footage. But in this first one, I just want to show you some of John's work so you can see how impressive his work is and what is possible. John is real big on taking classes and telling who he learned stuff from. So there are a lot of links in the description. Make sure you check that out when the video is over. Now check out this amazing work. All right, y'all, this is my buddy John up here in Jamestown, Tennessee, and I'm visiting with him today. And let me tell you, his place is in Aladdin's cave. John gets to looking at something and goes to trying to make it, and from books and the internet and everything else, and of course any class you can take, you take. But just some of his work is amazing, and I want John to show you some of it.
Okay. This is my kitty cats. I went to John C. Campbell Folk School probably 16, 17 years ago, and I noticed at the bottom of the sign, the Francis Whitaker shop sign, that they had cats. And Francis Whitaker was a very big fan of cats. He liked his cats. So I held up a piece of paper behind them, took a pen, and stole them. I modified them a little, but these are, I think Judy Berger made these originally, the ones on the sign. But our family are big cat lovers, and I thought these were just beautiful. 1 inch, or 3/4 by quarter, or that may be 3/16.
And that's all riveted. There's no welding in this.
The only thing I welded is the ears. I tack welded the ears.
Okay, just to keep it on.
Yeah, and I should have riveted them. You know.
You ain't got to tell all your secrets.
I know, but I just, this is a whimsical thing. I don't do very many whimsical things, so I just thought that was pretty. This is from a book of, this is a reproduction of a Julius Schramm piece. This is a Polish war eagle. He was big in Germany, World War I, World War II. I'm very proud of this. This is all recycled. This is the sides off of a 2-ton truck bed.
Really?
Yeah, this is out of
like a dump bed?
No, the strips around a wooden bed.
Okay.
That you put your standards in. These are all square head bolts that I just done some chasing to make them look like Maltese crosses. I was just very happy with this. I love Julius Schramm. That was one of Francis Whitaker's. He went, I think, over and spent 2 years in Schramm's shop. I got the best of the fair 1 year with this. Got $5.
Fentress County?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got $5.
Well, man, you ought to put that in the state fair.
Yeah, nobody ever mentioned that.
Put it in the state fair, it's mentioned.
I went and demoed at Alabama Forge Council a few years ago, and Kirk Sullens was the main demonstrator. And he has the directions for this octopus on his website. And it's 8 pieces of 1/2 inch square. And you can see all the suckers. And you even have the, I think, is that called a mandible? The mouthpiece in the bottom. You say so. But Kirk said this was one of the best he had seen, but he said I did my eyes wrong.
What?
The octopus eyes are supposed to be sideways, not like a cat. So, but I thank Kirk for sharing his knowledge. A chased piece I've studied with Jeff Jarrett, Ernie Durrell, John Crawford. I've been around some of the greatest guys that, you know, around to do this, but this is all just chisels and flatters. You know, this is something anybody can do.
What's this?
You know,
try to turn this. So what, if it might be hard to show up on camera, but this is depth. This isn't a drawing on here. This has real depth. where he chased that in there.
Yeah, you use different chisels, butchers, and move the metal away. But I've been very fortunate to study with some real good people, and they, like I said, Sher Sher.
Yeah.
This is a chicken. I forgot the guy who made it. He's up in the Northeast, but I thought it was cool, and I used and he had used all traditional joinery, and that's, you know, forged square corners, just tapers, wedge joints. There's a lot of different processes in this, and it was whimsical, and people's really give me a good reaction from that. You know, people, you know, this would be something you could sell at an art fair.
Yeah.
You know. Okay. This was, I think Terry Sheridan from Canada did one of these. I seen the picture and saved it. Me and, or I need to quit saying me and them, but Travis Fleming of Athens Forge was working on one, and I did one at the same time, and we kind of worked off of each other. But you just knock this wedge back, slide it, and then hammer the wedge back to adjust to the nut. This was all made on a hydraulic press, and it wants to break loose. I haven't perfected it. I need to talk to Terry and see what I'm doing wrong, but it don't want to really lock good. When you want to turn a nut with it, it wants to open. But it's still some very cool forging. This is my spider. I copied this from a picture on Facebook. I forgot the gentleman's name, but he's from I think the Czech Republic. He's very, very talented blacksmith. It's all traditional joinery, wedge joints for the abdomen, where the abdomen goes on. This is one solid piece on each side, but it articulates somewhat. You know, the legs will move just a little bit, and it kind of freaks people out when they touch it. But I think that's awesome.
I love it, man.
Yeah, and I did tack weld these because my wedges wanted to fall out, so I tigged all those.
Now, it'll probably shock some people to see that John makes any kind of bladed thing, because many years ago on Facebook, he set Facebook on fire with a little joking kind of snarky comment. Tell him what you said.
A knife is a sharp leaf. It's a handled leaf. But I know better.
He was joking.
I was picking at people. But I really enjoy making knives, and I've grown to really respect knife makers, because there's a lot more to the hardening. There's more learning in the hardening and tempering than people realize. And the grinding and forging where you don't have to grind so much is so hard. A gentleman from Alabama gave me a drawing of his mother's this is called a hog splitter. A lot of people call them cleavers, but it's a hog splitter. And I just wanted to make one, so I did. I started with a semi-truck leaf spring, and that's curly ash on the handle. And I just wanted to make one. They're about, I'd say that's a $700 or $800 if you buy an antique one.
Yeah.
So, blacksmiths, if you want something, make it. Yeah. But this is more on the diamond work. You had to have a tool that you drifted on an angle. You didn't drift it flat. You know, it had to be drifted at that angle. But this is just a test, just to see what I could do. And what's kind of neat is this piece is flat on the inside, and it's a 120-degree angle here. And that's all that is a piece of 1.5-inch hex that I machined one side from high spot, skipped the high spot, machined it flat, pressed it down into a block, and made my bottom swage. And then I used my hydraulic press to make that triangle material. Yeah. And then
so what I've really come to know John for a lot is these pass-throughs on things. You can see where that material is slit, and then he's passed more material through, and then it switches up down there. And the fact that he does it with these corners and everything, to the layman, it's hard to realize how difficult that is. And John makes the tooling to do this. And then, like he said, this is a test piece. This isn't even what his final goal was, but that's the kind of dedication he's got to this stuff.
This is another on the diamond piece. This is from Otto Schmirler. I want Brandon to share the book with you before he leaves. But
is it available online?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll put a link in the description.
It's about a $60-$70 book.
Yeah.
But it's right. It and Mark Aspery's red book are the two books I would own before any of them.
Okay.
And but you have to, that's two different sizes. That's 5/8 square here. It's like 3/8 square here. So you have to make up two different bottom tools, two different slitters, two different drifts. But it's just a process, and the book shows you every bit of the process. Shows you how to make your own tool. And that's a forged square corner. The book shows you how to do the forged square corners. It's a very good book. This is a vessel. If you, it's worth more if you call it a vessel, the way I was told. But this started out as a piece of 2-inch round that I pressed a tool down in it, laid it on its side, and I used a hydraulic press to bring it out. And I started with a round tool, went to a square tool, and then a bigger square, went from like 1.5-inch square to 2-inch square. And I call it raising. I don't really think this is what raising is, but that's what I did. And then I made a lid, and I made it fits only one way. You can hear it lock. That's just pretty sound when it locks. But I heated this up, left this cold, set this on, and then pressed it. And it put the indentation where it locks. And I said it needs a top. So I made the little diamond. And that's all done on a hydraulic press. And then I just riveted it over. You could put your, I don't know, a jewelry, but I don't know how many women would want to lift that lid. But I was just very happy. It's just an odd exercise on what you can do, what's possible. I wanted to make this is like an entryway to a garden. And I thought you can see all the pass-throughs. And I just thought those were beautiful. I asked a couple fellers, and I don't know if I don't think it's not that they didn't want to share with me, they just wanted to see what I was capable of. But I figured it out. And I made me a set of bookends, but then I wanted a sign hanger for my shop. And it's just neat, you gotta put this through this hole, slit and drift this hole. It's a puzzle. You've got to do one thing before you can do the next thing. And I just thought it was beautiful. And I really learned more about scrolls. They need to be an ever-increasing size. And I just think it's beautiful. And you can hang a plant on the end of it. I think those passed. This is the Devil's Grill. I've seen Juan Ocampo on Facebook. He made one, and I learned from his pictures. And there was a guy from Texas told me to get some straws. So I'd clip holes in those straws, and I slid it all together. And I learned, you slide these bars together, then you punch a hole, then you fit a bar in. Then you slide bars a different configuration, slide in another bar. But I made one out of 1/2-inch square with a round frame, and I was very happy with it, and it's got me a lot of recognition. I did an article in Abana for Abana on this, but then I got to think we use these Hex Bars at work, and when they break they throw them in the trash. So I've gathered up enough of the Hex Bars that I thought I'll make one out of Hex. But Hex, you don't buy tooling for Hex. You have to make all your drifts Hex. You have to make bottom tools with a Hex hole. It's just neat. And then I done all the 4 square corners. There is a weld here and like down there, but they're hidden enough where, but any you can cut like here and here, but you still can't get through it.
Yeah.
You can cut here and here, but you can slide that out of the way, but you still can't get out. That's why they call it the Devil's Grill, because it's to hold the devil. This is what started me on my journey of the joinery and figuring out the puzzle side of it. I want to give a big shout out to Phyre Forge. I've had 2 classes with him, with Pete, and he's an awesome teacher, and he does some of the most awesome work there is. And I really aspire to do some of the work he does. Travis Fleming of Athens Forge, he encouraged me. I've seen him do some of this work, and I've been able to go down and spend some time with him. And these are pieces out of the Nuremberg Gate in Germany, and there's a whole gate of impossible looking joinery that did like in the 1400s, and it's stuff that a lot of people look at today and they can't figure it out today, but they did it in I guess you would call that medieval times.
Yeah, late medieval, I think.
But it's just work. It's just, there's steps you got to go through to get to where you want to be. And you got to make all your own tools. But if you can't figure it out, there's a hidden forge weld somewheres. There's a hidden forge weld somewheres. There's a hidden joint somewheres.
Yeah.
There's, it's magic. And I love the magic of it. And it just, every day I get to think about this stuff, and it just appeals to me so much. That's a beast of a piece. That's 1 inch square. That's that's fun to work, because and really bigger stock sometimes is easier.
Yeah.
Because it'll stand heat.
Yeah, you got more working time.
You can't burn it as easily as you can 1/2 inch square. And I've come to learn 5/8. I love working with 5/8. 1/2 inch is too tiny, 3/4 too big. Yeah. I like impossible stuff. If you see something impossible, share it with me, please. But I seen this and I wondered how the guy made it. And then I got to thinking, there's a weld there somewhere. And today they do a lot of MIG and then they grind it. But here's how I assembled this. It's just cheating. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying hard enough to win. So I learned that from Mark Aspery. But it's just you punch one hole, slide this down, punch another hole, make these 2 pieces, slide them together. But later on I want to figure out, it kind of spread on me. I need to punch the hole smaller on this side than this. That way when it bends, it opens up to what I want it to be.
So do like a tapered hole?
Yeah.
Okay.
But so when you spread it, it opens to a 5/8 square.
Okay.
But it's it's a happy accident.
Yeah.
As they say.
And that's a great teaching piece.
Yeah. So.
Well, y'all, that's about it for the first video. I've got, like I said, at least 2, maybe 3 more videos from up there. I'll try to get edited out. We had a big time, and John is thinking about starting a YouTube channel. Now, he makes all the tools to make this stuff. He figures it all out. So if you'd like to see John make a YouTube channel, comment that in the comments. He'll see it, and hopefully that will encourage him to do this. But I hope y'all got something out of this, and check out those links in the description. They go to all the resources and all the people that John has learned from over the years. So I hope y'all got something out of this, and y'all behave yourselves.